Beef and broccoli, there's so many different versions of this stir fry, and I'm going to give mine a little bit of a fun twist by using some Szechuan and peanut sauce. It goes so nicely together. So I've been preheating a wok, and I've already pre-sliced my beef here. Now this is beautiful Aussie beef. It's rump steak, which is so versatile, and I've just cut my rump steak into little strips, just perfect for stir frying, but you can also get it pre-cut like this from all your supermarkets and your butchers. So I've just got a little bit of vegetable oil, and I like to cook this in batches. I don't want to overcrowd the pan because we want a nice sizzle. So half of this. And don't toss it just yet. Just get a little bit of the char marks on one side of the beef. I'll toss once, take it out, and then I'll add the rest of the meat. I'll also just add just a pinch of salt. Now while that's just sealing off, some garlic, 2 cloves of garlic. And I'm not going to finely chop it. I kind of want some texture here. So thin slices of the garlic, 2 cloves of garlic, broccoli, beef, garlic, all great combinations together. And I'll give this a quick toss. And see how some of it's just slightly rare? That's okay because we're going to put it back into the wok in a moment. So first batch out. We'll get some more heat back into that pan, and then we'll add the rest of that beef. In the meantime, I'll prepare the broccoli. So just 1 head of broccoli. And this stalk, usually we cut here and pop that in the bin. Don't do that because there's so much flavour in this bit. So we're just going to trim it off a little bit, just the woody ends. And that right there is just as delicious as the florets. So I'll cut that down the centre and then into battens, so it cooks quite fast in the wok. Perfect. Now for these florets, we want them to be quite small because it's all about frying in the wok, so we don't need to blanch these at all. So just slowly cut around it, and any big ones just cut in half. And I'm going to use the whole head of broccoli for this because it's going to serve, 3 or 4 people. Okay, great. In with the last of the beef. Just separate, and that's a lovely sizzle. That's what we're after. Just flash frying that meat. And we'll give it a toss. And see those little char marks? That right there is flavour for our stir fry. Okay, we'll take that out and we'll just place it onto the plate with the rest of our rump steak. I'll add another splash of oil, and let's get cooking with these veggies. So in with our broccoli, the whole lot can go in. It's going to take the longest, so that's why I'm adding it first. And we'll get a good sizzle onto that. I've also got some sugar snap peas. These are just so delicious. So I'll also add them at this stage. You can add all different types of vegetables to this, but I'm sticking with that green theme. And also some garlic. We'll just let that cook for a moment while we get onto our delicious sauce. So we'll start with the Szechuan. Now these are Szechuan peppercorns. I've just toasted them off slightly just to get as much flavour out of them as possible. Dried chilli is also a great alternative. So I'm just going to crush this in my mortar and pestle, and this is kind of the texture that we're after. Not too fine, we don't want it to be a powder, we just want it to be quite rough. And I'm going to use some to sprinkle on the top and some for the delicious sauce that we're going to add to the stir fry. Into a bowl, we'll add the majority of this. And we'll hold some back. Some vinegar. And some mirin. Love the smell of mirin. Also some peanut butter. Good old chunky peanut butter. It's a fantastic addition to savoury stir fries like this. And peanut and beef, also best mate. So a good spoonful of that chunky peanut butter. And just use the back of your spoon to just start to break it up. Now for some saltiness, some light soy sauce. And some sesame oil, just to really accentuate that nutty flavour. Okay. And once it just starts to come together as it is, just add a splash of hot water. That just helps that peanut butter melt away. One last mix. All right, let's go back to our veg. See how we've got some char marks on our veg? They're still crunchy, but they're just cooked. That's going to give this lovely flavour. So in with our beef, juices and all. Toss that together. And you can see why you need a big wok for this, just so everything can be tossed evenly. To that, we'll add our noodles. So I'm using some Hokkien noodles. They really stand up to all of those ingredients in there. Plenty. And again, a big toss. Ooh, looking good. And once those noodles have warmed through, we can add our peanut and Szechuan sauce. And then again, one last toss. Ooh. All right, I love the look of that. Perfect sauce to ingredient ratio. And we'll just do a nice, generous pile of our veg, Hokkien noodles, and the most important part, that sizzling beef, rump steak, perfect for stir fries like this. Heat off. And we'll just tidy that up slightly. The last little addition to this, to really show off that crunchy peanut addition, some extra peanuts. I've got some bean sprouts, sprinkled over the top, small amount. And if you love Szechuan as much as I do, then why not? A little sprinkle over the top for some extra warm, numbing sensation. Here you go. Beef and broccoli with a bit of a modern twist with that peanut sauce.